Hello, my name is Kim Hyowon. I'm a 5th grade student at Asanbukso Elementary School, and I'm turning 13 years old this year. So first, my MBTI is ENTJ. Like E says in my MBTI, I'm very bright and full of energy and active. And I also like talking to new people so I can get along with new foreign visitors very well. And like J says in my MBTI, I like making plans too. So whenever I go to the amusement parks or when I study, I make sure that I make plans so that I can write everything that I want and study all the things that I showed that day. My hobby is playing the piano and reading. Reading is a hobby that I can always enjoy no matter where I am or what I am doing. And during COVID-19, book was my only friend. So sometimes it became a time machine to take me back to the past, and sometimes it became an airplane to fly me around the world. But playing piano is my recent hobby. I like Disney songs and Disney movies, so during my free time, I enjoy playing Disney songs with piano. My family visit museums and exhibitions quite often. However, there has always been a tour guide available to make a visit more enjoyable and understandable. So naturally, I had many opportunities to interact with these tour guides and developed a great interest in their work. And I had always wanted to try it myself if given the chance. Then fortunately, my mom came across a program called Youth English Culture Heritage Guide that even students could participate in, and she highly recommended it to me. The fact that I could learn both history and English, as well as have the opportunity to provide tours for foreigners, made me eagerly decide to participate in it. This was an activity that perfectly fulfilled my interests and passion for history and English. Moreover, the added bonus of receiving volunteer hours for doing something that I really enjoyed was like hitting 3 birds with 1 stone. Looking back, I'm glad I took on the challenge of becoming a Youth English Culture Heritage Guide. I really enjoyed being able to learn not only about Gyeongbokgung Palace, but also Changgyeonggung Palace and Cheongdeokgung Palace as well. While learning about Changgyeonggung Palace and Cheongdeokgung Palace, I discovered similarities and differences compared to Gyeongbokgung Palace. So learning about these palaces naturally led to a deeper understanding of Gyeongbokgung Palace. Additionally, during the lessons of Changgyeonggung Palace and Cheongdeokgung Palace, I had the opportunity to present my own script in front of my classmates. It was a great chance to practice giving explanations without the pressure of a test. Looking back, I think it has been most helpful in shaping me as a tour guide. When I study history, I input the reading books about history and absorbing information in my head. But just reading about history didn't help me remember things very well. Then my mom told me that the output is the best study method and helps with memorization. It seems like that she was right. Now that I've explained what I've learned out loud to others, it's hard for me to forget. And also, experiencing things firsthand and actually seeing the palace helps me learn without getting bored. My 3rd test. When it was my 3rd test, I wasn't able to go to the Gyeongbokgung Palace due to lots of snow. So I had to take my 3rd test through Zoom. Then I started to worry, thinking like, what if I mess up the hand gestures because I'm not familiar explaining in my room? And how should I make eye contact? And how should I keep my face? I was pretty worried because it was my first test through Zoom and I was unfamiliar with the situation. The teacher I know told me that the cultural heritage guides should always be ready for any situations. So after that, I practiced more and fortunately was able to pass the 3rd test. My dream is to become a diplomat. Our country is currently facing various diplomatic problems. But first, there's the issue of Japan's discharge of contaminated water. And then there's China. They're claiming that the Korean traditional food kimchi and traditional clothing hanbok are part of their culture, by referring us as ethnic minorities of China. Whenever I see our country being unfairly treated like this, I can't help but wish for a hero to come and save Korea. And that is why I aspire to become a great diplomat who can protect our country in the future. I think it's important to identify what's happening around the world as a diplomat. So I'm having interest in world news and reading newspapers every day. I think communication between people is also important. Therefore, I joined the Youth International Culture Exchange Program for 7 days, where Korean, Japanese, and Chinese children gather and exchange by communicating each other and complete a fairy tale by cooperating each other. The changes I have noticed in myself are improved communication skills and preparation. To provide explanations to people, one needs not only knowledge of history, but also the ability to convey the information accurately. While explaining about the palaces in front of many people, I was able to develop the ability to deliver the information clearly without rambling. And foreign visitors who are so curious about unfamiliar palaces and Korean history often ask various questions, sometimes unexpected ones too. However, as a culture heritage guide, I always need to be prepared for any questions. Therefore, studying more about Gyeongbokgung Palace and preparing for questions has helped me to be well prepared. I want to recommend this program to all my friends around me. My friends and I have been studying history throughout the semester during social studies class at school. Therefore, everybody has developed a great interest and love for history. So, I would like to recommend the Youth Culture Heritage Guide program, where we can learn about living history at Gyeongbokgung Palace, the actual historical sites, rather than just relying on textbooks. It is such an exciting experience. Moreover, the sense of accomplishment I felt when I had the opportunity to explain what I've learned to others is something that I'll never forget. The Youth Culture Heritage Guide program will not only provide us with historical knowledge, but also be a great chance to enhance our confidence and self-esteem. So, I want to recommend this program to all my friends who share the same passion. Make sure that I make plans so that I can reading about history, skills, and